For more than a year now, across thousands of miles in all 50 states, tens of millions of Americans have made their voices heard.
Yeah, and tens of millions of them have said no to the Democrat Party.
Today, I just want to add mine. I want to congratulate Hillary Clinton on making history as the presumptive Democratic nominee for President of the United States.
She made history because she's a woman. Well, actually, we learned recently she only identifies as a woman because, as we all know, thanks to Mr. Obama threatening to take funding from children in public schools, gender is non-binary.
Look, I know how hard this job can be.
Yeah, believe him. Basically, nobody else can mess up as bad as he did. Well, hopefully.
That's why I know Hillary will be so good at it. In fact, I don't think there's ever been someone so qualified to hold this office.
Sure, let's run through some of her qualifications, shall we? Potentially lying under oath. She had a good teacher, you know, Bill's quite the guy. Skirting federal rules, ignoring the Constitution, getting 4 American heroes killed at Benghazi, scandals galore. I mean, by the modern definition of politician, she is beyond qualified. However, saying that everyone else who has ever run for president is less qualified than Hillary Clinton is a major slap in the face. Not to mention people like, I don't know, George Washington, maybe Abraham Lincoln, some guys like that. They might have been a little bit more qualified.
She's got the courage, the compassion, and the heart to get the job done.
Well, compassion for all the illegal immigrants. Just not so much for the unborn children.
And I say that as somebody who had to debate her more than 20 times. Even after our own hard-fought campaign, in a testament to her character, she agreed to serve our country as Secretary of State.
Was it that? Or was it just you throwing her a bone in order to get her support? Just curious.
From the decision we made in the Situation Room to get bin Laden to our pursuit of diplomacy in capitals around the world, I have seen her judgment. I've seen her toughness. I've seen her commitment to our values up close.
Good judgment does not usually end with 4 dead Americans and lies being told to their families.
I've seen her determination to give every American a fair shot at opportunity, no matter how tough the fight was. That's what has always driven her, and it still does.
Every American, except every single unborn child that was given no chance whatsoever because your buddies over there at Planned Parenthood made sure they did not live to ever have any opportunity.
So I want those of you who've been with me from the beginning of this incredible journey to be the first to know that I'm with her. I am fired up, and I cannot wait to get out there and campaign for Hillary.
And we can't wait either. Maybe if you're out of the Oval Office campaigning for Hillary Clinton, the butcher of Benghazi, you'll have less time on your hands to continue this fundamental transformation of America that is destroying our Constitution and our country.
I also want to thank everybody who turned out to vote and who worked so hard for our candidates. This has been a hard-fought race. I know some say these primaries have somehow left the Democratic Party more divided.
Yeah, you're divided between those who are honest and are just admitting they want socialism now, and those who are dishonest and vainly attempting to veil socialism behind the mask of democracy and liberalism.
But just like 8 years ago, there are millions of Americans, not just Democrats, who've cast their ballots for the very first time. And a lot of that is thanks to Senator Bernie Sanders, who has run an incredible campaign.
No, he really hasn't. If you run out in the street and promise free ice cream to everybody, you're sure to draw a crowd. And that's all Bernie has done. Free college, free healthcare, free everything!
I had a great meeting with him this week, and I thanked him for shining a spotlight on issues like economic inequality and the outsized influence of money in our politics, and bringing young people into the process.
Economic inequality? That is called life. You, sir, are far richer than I ever hoped to be. Heck, Bernie Sanders is far richer than I ever hoped to be. But that's how life goes. There's no such thing as economic equality. It is merely a pipe dream and a campaign slogan. Money in politics? You're concerned about money in politics and you endorse Hillary Clinton? The irony is ironic in this situation. Hillary Clinton and her darling husband have been giving speeches to the tune of millions of dollars to special interest groups and foreign governments. There's more money in their politics than there's politics in their politics.
Embracing that message is going to help us win in November, but more importantly, it'll make the Democratic Party stronger and it will make America stronger. Secretary Clinton, Senator Sanders may have been rivals during this primary, but they're both patriots who love this country.
Patriot. Better be careful using that dirty word. Studies show that the word patriot drastically increases your chances of being targeted by the IRS. But I guess you wouldn't have to worry about that, now would you?
And they share a vision for the America that we all believe in. An America that's hopeful, an America that's big-hearted, an America that is strong and fair and gives every child the same chance that we had.
Whoa, let's not drag the children into this. You and Hillary Clinton would just as soon abort one as see it born. Hillary Clinton doesn't even believe that unborn children have constitutional rights. This is despite the fact that in many states, unborn children can be named as heirs to estates, and murderers are held responsible if the woman that they murder is pregnant. Newsflash, not all Americans share that vision of wantonly killing innocent children for the sake of convenience and so-called women's rights. Aborting kids is a far cry from giving them the same chance that you had, Mr. Obama.
Those are the values that unite us as Democrats. Those are the values that make America great.
Stealing Trump's tagline? Really? I expected so much more.
Those are the values that are going to be tested in this election. And if we all come together in common effort, I'm convinced we won't just win in November. We'll build on the progress that we've made, and we will win a brighter future for this country that we love.
What's being tested this election is whether or not the Constitution still means anything to Americans. What's being tested is whether we understand where we came from as a nation and as a people. What's being tested is whether our liberty is something we are willing to sacrifice for the false, fleeting security of just one more government handout. If building on your so-called progress means more of the last 8 years, I, for one, want none of it. For Painful Truth, I'm Brad Johnson. Good night, everyone.